You say that with the walls closing in around him, his next move is to find a scapegoat.
Yes. And I believe, I believe that that's
because you were a scapegoat.
Absolutely.
That's Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, making a case that Trump is looking for someone to throw under the bus, to make a scapegoat, to essentially avoid any blame for the fact that he himself took home top secret and classified documents from the White House and then refused to hand them over. And that's why he got raided. Now, who is he looking to blame? Why don't we hear from Michael Cohen and see what his theory is?
I believe the next scapegoat is going to be Rudy Collude-y Giuliani. I believe that, everybody likes a bargain, but Donald Trump really likes a bargain. And I believe that Rudy is like a BOGO, buy one, get one half off. They're going to throw him under the bus for Mar-a-Lago. And at the same time, they're going to throw him under the bus for Georgia, for the district attorney Fannie Willis's case in Georgia. They're just going to keep pointing the finger. It's Rudy, it's Rudy. Quite frankly, I had nothing to do with it. It's Rudy, just ask Rudy.
It's Rudy, it's Rudy, just ask Rudy. Rudy Collude-y Giuliani.
It is hard not to like the way Michael Cohen talks with that New York accent.
Yeah, I do, I appreciate the accent. However, in the first clip that we showed you, the cold open, he talks about how he was made the scapegoat and how now Rudy Giuliani will be the scapegoat. I just want to make clear that random people don't get chosen out of nowhere to be Trump's scapegoats. Trump's lackeys end up becoming his scapegoats. So I just want to mention that because I feel like there's this woe is me, I was such a victim mentality here, and like, you weren't a victim, homeboy. You know that, right? And neither is Rudy Giuliani. Now, what they're talking about here, because there's so many different investigations going on, there's the January 6th investigation, then there's the investigation into the classified documents that Trump took home. They're talking about the classified documents. And so Michael Cohen believes that Rudy Giuliani might be thrown under the bus in regard to that issue. I don't really know how. I think that there's another person that they've already begun throwing under the bus, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But Cenk, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so of course they need 1,000 excuses because the guy did something criminally stupid. Both criminal in how stupid it is and a stupid action that is literally criminal. The nuclear secrets is the last thing you take home, not the first thing you take home. There's no reason to take them home at all unless you want to sell them, period. The brain dead zombies, no, you memento. Oh no, he was working late after not being president anymore and still wanted to. No. There's only one reason you take them home: to steal them and to sell them. Okay, and so there's a couple of people you could throw under the bus. One is the person who handed it to him, which is likely the chief of staff, which we're going to get to in a second. Okay, the other is that schmuck who's right next to you, who keeps getting his kicked in the nads and going, oh yes, can I have another round? Like things melting off his face and doing cameos on the side. Hey, Rudy, you schmuck. Now you take the fall like Michael Cohen did, like everybody does, okay? And either he'll turn on Trump or it's possible he'll spend a lot of time in jail. But look, prosecutors have been awful, right? In Manhattan, they're letting his chief financial officer, the guy who ran his books, they're basically letting him off the hook. He's going to get a tiny little prison sentence. It doesn't look like he turned on Trump at all. The Manhattan Attorney General is the worst prosecutor in the country, should be recalled immediately for being a complete and utter loser. But here in Fulton County, they're doing a better job. So they better put Rudy in jail for trying to doing fake electors and just literally destroying our democracy.
So Alan Weisselberg is going to get a prison sentence.
A tiny one.
But still, I mean, wow, a prison sentence.
No, it's nothing.
I didn't see that coming.
Most of it is time served. It's horse crap. The Manhattan Attorney General is the dumbest, worst prosecutor in the country by a lot. Okay, so
well, anyway. I mean, just calling him dumb and the worst, I don't think
you're right. It's not fair. It's not dumb.
Something else is going on. There's something else going on, exactly, because it started
nobody's that dumb. Nobody's that incompetent.
It started off as a criminal investigation, and then all of a sudden he stopped with the criminal investigation. Two of the prosecutors working on that case decided to quit because they're like, why are you stopping with this criminal investigation? There's enough evidence there. We should pursue it, and all of a sudden now we're seeing articles, and it's not going to happen, but he might reopen.
Oh, shit.
He might reopen. No.
Yeah.
Why would he stop and then reopen later? That makes no sense. Anyway,
the guy's a total corrupt loser. Okay, anyway, so in terms of the documents here, do you know how easy it is to turn them over? They're like, oh, well, I mean, they could have just asked for them. They asked for them over and over and over and over again, the Mar-a-Lago documents. And then, okay, so why don't you just turn them over? Oh, it's really complicated. No, it's not. The FBI came in, took them. You could have just taken them and given them to the FBI. Why didn't you do it? Because you had them hidden, because you wanted to sell them. And now you're gonna throw Rudy under the bus for it.
Now look, we've talked about the timeline before, but I'm gonna go over it again because it's important to understand how all of these powerful men get so many chances, right? They broke the law, it's clear they broke the law. And in this case, the DOJ reaches out and is like, can you please just give us back the documents that we know you have, please? And so 2 months prior to the raid, there was a subpoena for those classified documents. And Trump's attorney responded with, we've already given you all the documents, we have nothing left. And then there's an FBI informant who's close to Trump apparently, who informed the FBI of the fact that no, there's still plenty of documents here, many of which are marked as classified. And so the raid ends up happening. Okay, and the raid doesn't just happen on its own. The FBI or any law enforcement can't just unilaterally decide without a warrant to go into anyone's home, much less the former president's home in Mar-a-Lago. So a federal judge signs off on that warrant because there is probable cause, meaning there is reason to believe that Donald Trump is breaking the law. And guess what? They do the raid and they take with them nearly 24 boxes of White House documents, many of which are marked as classified, many of which are so top secret that they can only be read in a government facility, in a safe, secure environment. So that is the timeline, okay? Trump had many opportunities to just comply and give back the documents that he illegally took home with him from the White House. Now, Giuliani is an interesting theory, right? Someone that Trump might throw under the bus when it comes to this particular investigation. But there's already some rumors about another individual who I think would actually play as a better scapegoat for Trump here, and that's former Chief of Staff Mark Meadows. Okay, so this is a New York Times report, and this is what they found based on some sources close to Trump who gave them the inside info. According to 2 people with knowledge of the situation, Trump and his chief of staff, Mark Meadows, the man who oversaw presidential records in the chaotic closing days of the administration, failed to organize an effort to collect, box, and deliver materials to the National Archives. Instead, they often focused on settling political grievances and personal grudges, they said. And then in the weeks leading up to Trump's departure from the White House, officials discussed what to do about material that he had at various points taken up to the residence and that needed to be properly stored and returned. By then, the staff secretary, Derek Lyons, known for trying to keep systems in place, had left the administration. Meadows said he would address such issues, according to a senior administration official. So it has begun. This is how it starts. This is how they begin to throw Mark Meadows under the bus. And you know what? He deserves it. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah, hey, what are you idiots gonna realize? He's never gonna come rescue you. So why don't you just tell people what you know about how incredibly corrupt he is? No, you're gonna go to prison for him? All right, you do whatever you want. They're all a bunch of criminals. Anna's 100% right. You don't stumble into being Trump's fall guy. You're the fall guy because you were one of his captains and you helped him to commit all those criminal acts. And if you want to go to jail for it, hey, it's just like the mob. That's your goddamn business, I guess, if you're that stupid. I want to correct one quick thing I said. I think I said Attorney General. It's of course Manhattan District Attorney, and his name is Alvin Bragg, and he's the loser who refused to investigate and indict Donald Trump. You should know and shame the people who refuse to hold Trump accountable. And Alvin Bragg's at the top of that list.
And to be clear, that investigation, which was initially a criminal investigation, looked into financial fraud that Trump allegedly committed. So that is an entirely different investigation from the classified documents, from the January 6th investigation. I mean, Donald Trump, such an innocent guy. I mean, such a good, kind spirit who's never done anything wrong, and he just happened to stumble into multiple major investigations. Weird.
Yeah, look, I'll say one last thing. Rogan and his dumbass guest today were talking about, oh, is this a setup from the FBI? Oh, they're going after Trump again. You know why they keep going after Trump and they barely laid a glove on the guy, right? Why? They're doing nothing. They're the weakest people in the world, and they make them seem like, oh, they're going, oh, those Dark Brandon, all those guys are going after Trump again. Why? Because he keeps breaking law after law after law after law, because they never actually went after him the first time, or the second time, or the 18th time. They always pulled an Alvin Bragg and was like, oh, he's the president. The Republicans will yell at me. So hey, do you remember when Trump was prosecuted? Oh yeah, I don't either. Because they never indicted this son of a bitch. For all of his crimes, a half a dozen super clear crimes he has admitted on the record, never ever prosecuted. And then that's why he keeps breaking law after law. He's like, nuclear secrets, who wants some? Who wants some? And then they're like, oh, they're going after Trump again, as if he's the victim.
No, I just, look, if you don't know the details of an investigation and you don't know what Trump has been accused of, if you don't know what the timeline is with these classified documents where he was given so many chances to just return them, with no charges, no investigation.
So easy, just return them.
Okay.
They're boxes, just give it back.
If you don't know those details, then how about you just shut up, right? I don't sit here and talk about political issues or any other issue in the news that I haven't read up on and I don't know every little detail of.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. Like the need to like, oh, I read a few headlines here, and what do you think? Do you think this is an FBI setup? Obviously, you didn't read a damn thing.
Yeah, if you're speculating on whether it was an FBI setup, you're a total idiot, okay? Because there's actual evidence. If it was a setup, we see it all the time. And we talk about, hey, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. And we look at the actual evidence, the exhibits, etc. There's a warrant that a judge signed off on. And then lo and behold, they did find 11 documents in Donald Trump's goddamn basement. He admits that they found the documents. I can go on and on and on, but it's never gonna get through the thick heads of Republicans. You know why? Because they like criminals. They just like criminals that are on their side. Look at what Giuliani said. He said, if Trump gets elected, the first thing he'll do is raid every one of Biden's houses. He didn't say because Biden did anything illegal. He's saying, how dare you investigate us for breaking the law? We're right-wing men, we're above the law. We run this country. We're allowed to be criminals all we want. And the Republican voters cheer, standing ovation, break the law, because they feel like we own this place. We're not breaking the law, it's already ours. Everything, we're not stealing. We could just rape and pillage and steal and betray the country, but we're not, because we're enriching ourselves and we are the country. That's how they think. If no one ever holds them accountable, they're gonna think that till the end of time. So for God's sake, somebody arrest the sons of bitches already. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.